Hey, it's Nicholas for another Tuesday Takedown, where I take a look at a Shopify store and do an audit of it. And I share with you some conversion tactics I would use if it was my own brand, so maybe you can test them on your own store. So today we're looking actually at something a bit different. We're looking at a theme, not an actual Shopify store that's actually live. But I think it could be an interesting exercise because one of the big questions that people ask me all the time is, what theme should I choose? There's so many out there, and there's something I should be looking for. The right answer is there's so many of them. It can vary quite a bit, but here are some things that maybe I'd be looking at when I'm looking at a theme that makes them stand out. If I were to build a Shopify store from scratch, these are the kind of things I'd pay attention to. And at the same time, I'll share with you some things that I think could be maybe improved, or some of the things that I think many mistakes that a lot of Shopify marketers make when they're given a theme, because most of the themes are designed the same way, or I should say because Shopify works a certain way. There's some things that come out of the box of Shopify that I think are big opportunities for marketers to improve on. And so this might be the kind of thing that we look at today. So the first thing we're looking at on the screen is the classic, Lightbox pop-up for a newsletter subscription. And this is not, I like the fact that the theme has it. So it's a good feature that the theme has. But I think one of the mistakes a lot of marketers do in this case is that first of all, they show it a bit too soon in the process. People have just stumbled upon your site. They're trying to figure out if it's the right site for them. What is your USP? What is the benefit of staying on the site? Are you selling products or services if that are right for me? And then they're hit with a light box that says, hey, subscribe to my newsletter. It's like asking for the date a bit too soon in the relationship. So I certainly delay that a little bit and not show it on entry as quickly as most people do. At least, many seconds, and 30 seconds, a minute, I would test it to see what works, but certainly not on entry like most people do. I also like to tweak the language here. Never forget that a subscription to a newsletter is a transaction. People are actually paying with their email address. They're giving you consent to spam them and get more emails that they already are having in their email inbox in exchange for something. They need to know what that something is. So is it because you're going to send them a discount? Is it because you're going to send them some features about new arrivals in advance of large public? Whatever the reason is, you need to give them some incentive for subscribing. Just don't ask them to join 10,000 people that have opted in just like you. That doesn't really give me any benefit. All right. Second thing I always look at, especially on the homepage, is what is the main hero section and how much customization can I do to it. That's always important. There's certainly a structure that I like to have, like this one here, more than this one here. I think this one, whenever you have copy with especially a live video underneath, it's harder to read the copy. I much prefer this design here. Let me go back to that slide. Where you have the copy on one side, the image on the other. It could be reversed, probably typically the other way around. But the fact that you can actually play with it and probably have a version that you prefer is good. I would stay away from the carousel itself. The theme, I'm sure, gives you the opportunity to just have one slide instead of two. So that's probably what I would say. Most of the time, people do not read what's on the next slide or the one after that. In this case, it slides quite fast, which may be a good thing that they'll see what's on the next slide. But then again, I don't really have the time to read the copy and all of that. So these are the kind of things that typically a good theme will allow you to customize. So certainly slow it down if you really have to use a carousel here, but most of the time I'd advise people to just use one slide, display the information you need to display, the most important information that you've tested that works, and you just use that. So that's that. There's also a scrolling banner at the bottom here. I'm not a huge fan of those. Typically, they're sort of annoying and all of that. I guess if you have like something that's really urgent, like a flash sale or something like that, it could be something that people pay attention to. So I can see that sometimes it can be something to use. So to have the feature in the first place and to have that opportunity in the first place in this theme is a good thing in general. But I would certainly say that most of the time, having it static like this and displaying your best value proposition and things like that is probably the way to go for most people. All right, let's take a. Oops, I'll go back to the. Let's go back to the products and look at the shop page. So something that really a lot of Shopify themes make a mistake on is having too much of that hero section on the collection page. It pushes down the products. I've clicked on shop, or maybe I've clicked on an ad about, men products, right? And so I'm expecting to see these products at this point. The same way that if I click on one of these product, I'm actually expecting to see that product. So because this is a category, I'm expecting to see these products right now. And if that hero section is too large in height, I should say too high, it pushes down the products and it's not really giving me as the user what I'm looking for. So I really like the fact that in this case, you can easily display some copy on the left-hand side here with a nice headline, some supporting copy next to it, and still have some imagery to kind of display what this collection is about, what this page is about. So I kind of like that, but it doesn't take too much room vertically that it pushes too much stuff down. I really like also these bubbles. These bubbles are something I test with pretty much all my clients on collection pages now these days. They're a really nice way, an easy way to have the users self-segment themselves into a further category. One of the reasons oftentimes that people don't buy from you is because you have too many products and they don't know what to think. Which one is better than the other ones? How am I supposed to filter myself and find the right product for me when you have so many of them? So these bubbles are very visual. They're impossible to miss. People understand exactly what they are for. And it helps me as the user segment myself into a category of products that probably is good and I'm looking for. And finally, I like also these little, I call them stamps on these products on collection page. So things like the sale amount, the best seller, the sale here, the improved, trending, probably something like also if you have like a new product would probably be one that I would add as kind of these little tags. So these are nice ways to, again, have people segment the products that they're looking for and show a little bit of something, a special feature for each of these products. Now it kind of loses its thing when there's something on all of them. Now, obviously, this is a theme, so that's where they're just showcasing that they're everything that's possible. But if I were building this as my store, I would certainly not have like a sale on every product. I would not have a stamp like sale, bestseller, improved, trending, and all that on every product, because at that point, the purpose of these is to make some of these products stand out. So if you do have too many of those, it kind of loses its purpose. All right, let's go to the product page. So the product page, one thing I like quite a bit. So the top of the page is pretty standard, all sorts of options. You also have options for subscription, that's just I like, but I really like this section here where you can bundle some products together to increase your average order value and to increase the likelihood perhaps that they get a deal. Probably, I would think that, yes, it says it here, save 25% with bundled options. So it says here, save 10%, save 5%. So one thing I had noticed from the start that the save here was there. It kind of looks like a button, almost the same color as the button color. So I would certainly tweak that and use the save in a different color so it pops a bit more. I kind of missed those when I first looked at it. So something I would maybe tweak if I were building my own theme. I mean, if I was using this theme and building my own brand around it, I would tweak that color of the save here. But I really like that option. It feels like it's an easy thing that people could use to add a little bit of extra products and save a bit more if you're going to, if you're going to just buy a few more. And it feels like, depending on what product you're selling, obviously, many times people buy multiple amounts of it. So the fact that you can bundle them and save a little bit on it, even if it's just 10%, might be the difference between them buying from you than buying from a competitor. So I certainly like that quite a bit. I also like this little progress bar here, only 5 left in stock. With only, you only see that there's a few of them left here. So I kind of like this little touch. Super easy, but very visual. Kind of see that, it adds a bit of urgency and scarcity to the process here. Might make me buy at this point. And I also like this section here, frequently bought together, this little box here. I would typically what I do with this section here, because I don't know if people fill this out that much at this point. Maybe, perhaps. So having it here, I'm not against it, but that's one thing that I test often with my clients is to show this, something very similar to this, after they've added to cart. So they added to cart, and then you get a light box with basically this stuff here, where you can easily add a frequently bought together product. So it adds a bit of an upsell after, or cross sell after you've added to cart. So if you're already committed, and now you maybe are more likely to add more items to your cart, there might be some complementary items that would fit perfectly with this product, but people don't know, they haven't noticed that it's there. So sometimes going for a product that's much less pricey than the product they've added. So if they're adding a $50 product, showcasing products like $5, $10, $15 could be a good thing. So it kind of becomes like a no-brainer instead of going through the entire decision-making process again, where if it's another $50, for example, do I really want to go there? If it's just $5 or $10 or $15, or a small percentage of the first product that they added, it might feel like a no-brainer, and it might significantly increase your revenue and your average order value. So maybe test that. The advantage of showing it in Lightbox, for example, is that people will, it declutters a little bit of this page, right? And so, and it brings more of the bottom information here, the accordion and all that, and these bullets higher on the page. I think most of the time also, I prefer to have these bullets tucked right next to the call to action. So that's something that I typically do. So I would certainly maybe flip those, or test flipping those above the frequently bought together. So something I would look at. All right, let's look at mobile. Quite important, obviously, mobile design. Again, top of the page, pretty standard. That's good. I haven't talked about this, but the accordion here really works well, both on desktop and mobile, honestly. But make sure to use some copy that that sells the product a bit more. Instead of saying shipping information, if you're offering free shipping, say free shipping, get free shipping, or something like that. If instead of saying returns, if you are offering a return policy, say free returns within 30 days. Much better than just having returns here and having me expand to see that you're offering free shipping, free returns. So that's one of the things. Also, one of the things that I really liked about this one is that it's always certainly important. The image is always one of the things that's the most important when people are shopping. And so being able to see the image and all that. So I kind of like the fact that you can easily expand and enlarge the image. It's always important, super easy. You can also do this on desktop as well. So that's really something that can go a long way, I think. For people, because people sometimes the image that you have is fine, but sometimes they want to see a bit closer. So that's a good thing to show. And something that is not showing right now that it showed earlier, I don't know why it's not showing, but it does have a sticky. Let me go back. See, it has this sticky bar here at the bottom. It does have that on mobile. I saw it earlier, but it's not showing at the moment. No, it's not, but whatever. On mobile, especially on mobile, on desktop, yes, but especially on mobile, having that sticky ball call to action here at the bottom is an interesting thing to have. I certainly test it with my clients when they don't have it. So on mobile, because obviously you have your phone in one hand, having that sticky call to action at the bottom, can easily click on it, can go a long way. So It's good to have it on desktop, but even better on mobile. All right, let's add to cart, and I want to show you what I call a mini cart, which many themes have these days, but it's certainly something I would not stay away from. I would not stay away from if I had it. I mean, if a theme didn't have it, I would stay away from it. Let's put it that way. There we go. So because now I think this is a great way to, first of all, bypass the cart so that you can basically remove a funnel step and make them check out easy in a much easier fashion. It really confirms right away what I've added to the cart. It also shows me what I've added if I added other items before that. I like some subtle touches here with the only 5 items in stock on this one. I really, really like this banner at the top. It's impossible to miss. I mean, depending obviously on the colors you choose for your own brand and all that, make sure to show a bright color in this case. And I like the fact that you can show this in the mini cart. I'm sure the theme can do it somewhere else, but you certainly would want to have this little first order use code new 10, before I get to this step. So either in an announcement bar or something on product pages, so that I make sure that I've seen this before. But if I have seen it, I've forgotten about it, now I add it to cart, I see it at the bottom. That's really a nice touch. I like that. I also like the fact that you can easily add, some subtle upsells here, gift wrapping, whatever you're selling. There's probably some subtle upsells that you can add here. Note to your order, something like that maybe you don't really care about, but perhaps you do. Calculate shipping if you want. One of the key reasons why people abandon cart later in the checkout is that they don't know how much it's going to cost for shipping. So it's always important to show what that shipping cost is going to be prior to get to the cart. And if you're able to do it, offer free shipping, it's really it's come almost a default. We're all competing against Amazon these days. They offer free shipping. They offer free shipping almost the next day or the day after. I understand most brands can't do that. And most people don't really, it's not going to be a deal breaker unless you ship something and you expect it to be delivered in 2 weeks for something that you expect to be quicker. People don't necessarily care that much that it's going to take 3 or 4 days compared to 1 or 2. But free shipping is one of the things that's really important. So if you can offer that, that's really something that I would do. And finally, in the checkout standard Shopify checkout. One of the reasons that Shopify is as good as it is and as popular is because the checkout is really, really simple and good. I strongly believe that. Obviously, this is a theme, so it's kind of stripped out of all the plugins and options, but I always recommend adding the plugins and everything necessary to offer multiple payment options. So it's normal that you don't see it on this page, obviously, because this is a theme, but it's certainly something that I would add. For one of the first things I would add if I were looking at a new Shopify installation is adding, PayPal, Shop Pay, Google Pay, Apple Pay, things like that can go a long way these days because people really like to pay with the method that they have. And if they already have their credit card in one of those systems, it makes it super easy to check out, much easier for you. So click of a button, Shop Pay, and then I'm checked out and everything is bought. So be always mindful to add that to your checkout page if you don't already. All right, that's it for this Tuesday takedown. I hope you liked it. A little bit of a different one, so I hope you understand a little bit more the kind of things I'm looking for in a theme if I were to use a new one. This theme really has all of the check boxes checked. I like it quite a bit. But these are the kind of things I'd be looking for if I were installing a new Shopify. And also, if you're missing some of these elements on your website, but maybe your theme has them already, look at maybe testing, adding those in. Or maybe if you're looking for a new theme, it's the kind of thing that could help you out. All right, I'll see you next time.